Today, the world is undergoing a process of transition from a unipolar world to a multipolar world. Gone are the days of a single superpower country that dictates and controls the world proceedings in all front, be it militarily, economically, or politically. There are various events happening around the world that make this hypothesis holds true, such as Russian annexation of Ukraine, which is proceeding without any major blockade. China's building of artificial islands in international waters. Veto on major events in UN Security Council without even discussing the issues. And last but not least, globalization and interconnected economy has made it difficult for any military intervention by current superpower, USA. By 2030, this geopolitical scenario will be omnipresent in almost all areas of concern, and the concept of unipolar world will be put into a question mark. This will be the beginning of age of superpowers, an age of multipolar world. Let's explore further. US is no more a single dominating power in the world. This is due to multiple reasons. Reason 1, GDP growth. GDP growth of other major developing countries will be close to or overtake US GDP in few decades. For instance, China GDP is around $16 trillion, which is very close to that of USA. And Indian GDP is growing as well, which is projected to reach around half of US GDP by 2050. This clearly shows that economic activity will move from west to east, and owing to the market size and power of population, China and India are going to dominate global economy in the coming years. Clearly, USA cannot act alone in international arena, and the opposition to a particular activity will mostly be an international condemnation or minor sanction that does not affect the interconnected activities. Remember, China is the international manufacturing hub for the world. Reason 2, military power. Economic growth will also influence military postures. As the GDP grows, the country will have more money to spend on military modernization. Same percentage allocation for military budget will increase the overall money spent. For instance, for India, 3% GDP spend on a 6 trillion economy will be much more than a 3 trillion economy. This will lead to a new innovation, buying capacity, and modernization of military. Similarly for China and Russia. This will balance the military power, and any military action will be less probable for a current superpower to exert an influence. For instance, the question of Taiwan is still unclear. Neither USA can enforce China to accept Taiwan as a sovereign country, nor China can conquer it overnight. A stalemate will be maintained for a foreseeable future unless one country advances leap and bound in military technology. Reason 3, diplomacy. International diplomacy is getting complicated as never before. Your country needs to balance its diplomacy due to multiple geopolitical fault lines. For instance, India has problem with China on Himalayan border and also on influence of China on Pakistan. Therefore, India aligns with Quad to counterbalance it. However, USA being a Quad member cannot expect India or influence India to ignore or abandon its interrelation with Russia due to issues such as Ukraine war. USA also partially accepts India's position with Russia, irrespective of its frosty relationship with Russia. This is due to give and take relation which USA wants to maintain with India. India being a large market with huge middle class population and more or less friendly attitude towards USA cannot be ignored. The question of superpower is not just limited to economy or military, but also counts on soft powers. No more days of iron curtain that dictates a country to choose between a side. Major countries for multipolar worlds are as follows. China. Power of demographics. Large market and large landmass. Fast growing economy which will overtake USA in few years. Influence on many countries such as African countries, Southeast Asia, etc. Military power. Belt and Road Initiative. India. Again, power of demographics. Large market English-speaking population. Large global diaspora working in technology area. Fast-growing economy. Diplomacy maneuvers. Military expansion and ideal position in global map. A counterbalance to China for USA and Western powers. Russia. Large landmass stretching both continents. Advanced military technology, example hypersonic missiles. Growing influence of Russia in Arctic Circle. Large and potent military power. Most importantly, abundance of natural resources.